Alright, alright, so welcome to today's recap. We absolutely got fucked today. Not gonna lie to y'all. Now, it wasn't that bad. Only reason it wasn't that bad is because this came in at just the right time. I almost really fucked myself over today. But hold on, let's take a look at that again. This is so humbling. Thank you, Top Step. I need to see this. Now, at first I thought it was a decent day. Like, okay, I took a loss, but it wasn't a bad loss. I still don't think it was a bad loss from the perspective I was thinking from originally. But now I know exactly why it lost on a technical standpoint. All right, cool. So y'all can already see we do have a previous day high SMT from yesterday. We also have this SMT right here, the previous week high. So we have two SMTs. This should push the market bearish. I knew that. I know we're in a bearish market overall, right? But every day I need to see what SMTs we form at specific times, which is around news, depending on what news drivers we have, or at the open. So I'm looking at the SMTs that we formed today to try and catch a certain move. It might be a retracement session. That's what I thought it was today. I thought we were going to retrace, create another SMT, push back down. And I'll explain why to y'all. Okay, cool. So we already established we're in a bearish market because of yesterday's previous day high SMT and the previous week high SMT. But coming into the day, you can see London high, there's no SMT here. We can see that Asian session low does have an SMT. We have a session low SMT. We have nothing on the upside. So in order to continue this bearish momentum, in my mind, we're going to have to push up to this session high and then push back down. That's what I was thinking. We're going to need another manipulation today in order to continue in the direction of this bearish market. That's how my strategy works. Some of y'all might think that's stupid. I'm going to explain exactly why I lost today. But let me show you the trade I took first. Right, so boom, seeing this, I was like, okay, I want to see a 90-minute low or something of that sort get created after 9:30. And then I want to see displacement higher towards this high. And another thing, when 9:30 opens, that's when I expect us to manipulate if we don't have news. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't expect it to do that, but that's when my strategy works the best. My strategy works the best when 9:30 creates a manipulation move in favor of my drawn liquidity. For example, if I'm bullish and 9:30 opens and pushes down and creates an SMT, then I know, okay, that was a manipulation move created from the volatility injection from 9:30. So now I know my strategy is more likely to play out. But that doesn't mean 9:30 has to cause us to manipulate. We could just expand at 9:30, but that would just be a lower probability day for me. Okay, 9:30 opens and we create this SMT right here. I want to see that hold, and I want to see this placement towards the upside. Now, this was a big red flag for me, seeing this huge 9:30 1-minute candle open up and just shoot down like this. That was a bit of a red flag. We had no significant SMTs to the upside, so I didn't really care that we pushed down like this. So we take out the 90-minute SMT, but now we have a proper previous day low SMT. So I'm still bullish. As long as we see this placement from this area back to the upside, I'm getting it longs, right? But now we have to pay attention. Does this get invalidated? And you would think yes, but there's two types of SMTs. Regular SMTs involving the wicks and hidden SMTs involving the bodies. So if you go right here, click settings, you take off the wick, and you just look at the body closes, this would be a hidden SMT. So this is still Asian session low, but we're just using the body instead of the wick now. You can see NQ closed below the low of Asian session, while ES did not. That's a hidden SMT. And y'all know ICT says the wicks tell the story. No, my bad. The bodies tell the story. The wicks do the damage. So theoretically, these SMTs are just as powerful as the regular SMTs. So since we didn't invalidate this, we had the two SMTs I needed. So the only thing at this point was the fact that the 90-minute SMT got ran through completely. There's no hidden and there's no regular SMT there, which is a bit of a red flag. Theoretically, that would have held if we wanted to push up. But the fact that we still have 2 SMTs here that are valid and we have nothing up top, I was still looking for longs. I was still okay with longs, right? So boom, now we're still just waiting for this placement. We started holding up in this area. I'm like, okay, this fair value gap then became a potential inverse where we could long off of. That's what I started seeing in real time. So right here, I'm like, okay, cool, we're bullish. I wanted a little bit more confirmation though. So instead of entering right here, even though I really wanted to, I wanted this high to get taken out first. I already saw a couple red flags, but my reasoning was we had no SMTs up top. So we should push up to create an SMT before we push down. A significant SMT specifically. So that's the first mistake I made. Trying to wait for more confirmation, even though we didn't need it. Like, look at this displacement. I should have got in right here. Then I saw this. Now I was looking for a retracement entry right here. We didn't get it. And then I told myself, if this high gets broken through, I'm going to enter right there. So I ended up entering up here, and I just put my stop below this candle. We push up with some displacement. I'm like, yeah, we good. But we started getting held up right here. Now, this wasn't SMT, but it didn't bother me because this is from 9 a.m. As y'all know, the cycle starts at 9 a.m. So this high would have had to get taken out after 10:30 for it to be a 90-minute cycle SMT. So I didn't go break even. And then once I started seeing this displacement, I was like, yeah, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. So I ended up closing out somewhere in here for like a $400 loss. Now, it was a good trade from my standpoint. The reason it didn't play out is because I didn't notice this right here. Let's make this green, I guess. That's it. It's that simple. This is basically how I judge whether we're going to retrace for this session or if we're going to continue to expand with the higher time frame narrative. Is what SMTs formed today. Now, this SMT formed today. This is a PM session SMT. And since it formed in London, it's still valid because that's technically the previous session or the previous session. I usually go 2 cycles back at most. So this SMT kind of allowed price to continue lower for the day. That kind of invalidated these other SMTs we had, especially with the momentum that we had, how that 90-minute cycle didn't hold. And then once we created this SMT right here, it kind of activated this one and it allowed us to start pushing down. And honestly, it's because I didn't get home to the charts until 9:24. So I had about 5 minutes to do my analysis. I was not paying attention to this at all. And I kind of rushed my analysis a little bit. I didn't have the proper time and attention to detail that I should have had. I wasn't perspicacious enough, you feel me? I didn't catch this until I started doing this recap. I just looked through the charts real quick just to refresh my mind of what I was going to say. And that's when I caught this. That's when I realized, okay, this is why I lost. So it's really a combination of things, right? The little details, the fact that this was a proper SMT, but then it changed to hidden. The fact that the 90-minute got ran through. The fact that we actually also had a hidden SMT right here on the daily. You can see we closed below it at 7. Lowest candle close from yesterday. You stretch it out. Even at 9, we still hadn't closed below it. If we have a hidden SMT like that and we already have another SMT to activate it, that's why I need 2 SMTs. One is like the original and one is the activator. That's when price will actually start to move. If we already have the 2 SMTs, there's no reason we should continue pushing down. We should see displacement. I'm seeing that there are still SMTs on the board, and I'm thinking there's nothing above. Whole time there is something above, and these SMTs are getting ran through, and the higher time frame is already bearish. So for that reason, none of these SMTs down here were valid. They didn't mean shit. And again, the only reason why I was looking for longs is because I thought we had to retrace in order to create an SMT. I didn't realize there was already a significant SMT in play for today. So had I seen this, ideally I would have came into the day ignoring these, waiting for a push up for another SMT to form, like a micro or a goddamn 90-minute. And I'm pretty sure we actually had a 90 minute because, all right, so if we look at the high right here, that's right. That's this. 855 is the high. We took that out. The high over here is also 855, but we did not take it out. So we had a 90-minute cycle SMT, and that activated this SMT. And the reason why that's important is because these higher time frame SMTs are still in play. So that's influencing the market right now. That's why we're pushing down. Had I seen these little minute details, I wouldn't have been looking for longs at all. I would have let this retracement happen without me. Once we come up and create a third SMT, because remember, I need an SMT after 930. That was created right here when we took out this high. I need either a market structure shift, a fair value gap, or an inverse fair value gap. And if we zoom in right here, it's not a lot of displacement, but we do have a market structure shift on the 1 minute, and we have an inverse fair value gap. But that would have been the ideal entry. I'm not that aggressive though. But this was the proper entry, the ideal entry. Knowing me, I probably wouldn't have gotten in until down here. Still would have had my stop up here. This hourly fair value gap, that's what I would have targeted most likely. I don't know what the fuck I would have targeted. It would have been somewhere in this area and it would have fucking hit. That's all I know. But Brandon missed those crucial things. And I'm kind of happy about it, kind of mad about it. The reason I'm mad about it is because I really couldn't understand why I lost at first. I'm like, well, I guess that's just a good loss. We just got to be more aware next time. We got to get to the market on time, right? But yeah, this is exactly why we lost. And I'm happy to see it because this is also part of my system. And had I seen this, I would have won today. But I'm just glad I see why I lost. I'm very happy about that, honestly. I'm very content with today now. That was the first loss I took. After I seen this shit selling off like this, I was like, I bet. Well, now that all these SMTs got ran through, I know Monday's low is probably the target now. I'm like, okay, where can I get in at? So I started searching for an entry, and you know how that goes. Now, it was based on logic, and I knew this low had to get hit because that's the next liquidity pool for us to reverse at, and we just ran through all the bearish SMTs. So at first I wanted to see this 5 minute fair value gap get filled, but if you watch the 1 minute, we kept pushing down, and I was like, at this point I was like, yeah, we're not gonna get that fill. So I ended up getting in right here. Just the dumbest shit ever, gang. I'm not gonna lie, the dumbest shit ever. The worst part about it is I have evals that I haven't touched yet, 2 evals, and I decided to still take them on the funded, bro. And we start to push down, but actually I got filled on this candle and I hit my personal loss limit, as y'all seen. Thank God for that personal loss limit. Let me fucking tell you, bro, because I only ended up losing 570 today. The stop would have got hit. And had we not had a lockout feature or none, I probably would have crashed out today. Just being fucking retarded. And guess what? Guess what's funny about this shit? Remember that 5 minute fair value gap? That entry I wanted? I was too impatient to let that shit come to me. We did have a bit of drawdown though, so I would have got liquidated regardless because of my personal loss limit. I shouldn't have chased price at all. Yeah, I just got to get to the charts by 9 a.m. Non-negotiable every single fucking day. I have very mixed feelings about today. Because based on what I saw from the market, it was a great loss. It was a perfectly fine loss. It wasn't an A+ setup, even though yesterday I was talking about A+ setups. I still got some shit to work on with my mindset. I'm trying to adopt that mentality. I'm still working on it. It wasn't an A+ setup, but it was a good setup. It was still worthy of a loss. You feel me? Like, taking a loss on that setup is fine. But it's the fact that I missed something in the market. And it's also the fact that I chased a move trying to make that win back. But I'm satisfied with it because I know what to do next time, and I know I can avoid this loss next time. It's not a matter of my ability. It was a matter of my time management and my lack of awareness. So that's really all I got for y'all today, man. I'm gonna catch y'all.